down here with my boy Eric, one of my very, very good friends, many, many years. Known one another for probably close to 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah, about 30 years.
Yeah, about 30 years. We worked a lot of dogs together, didn't we? Some good ones.
Dogs.
A lot of clubs.
A lot of clubs.
A lot of hard dogs.
Tournaments.
Yep.
Traveling.
Oh, now yeah, it'd be a good dog.
He sees the bird.
Oh, you see the bird? Oh, you see the pigeon?
You see the bird?
You hungry? You hungry? Oh, good boy. Good boy.
I can't
good
squat.
Boy.
I keep losing my balance.
Really?
I'm old, man. I keep losing my balance. Look at it. There's the bird.
Good boy. Good
He
boy.
is on it at his age.
Watch him? You watching him? You watch a bird? Watch a birdie? Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So down here in Laguna, Eric, very, very, very dear friend of mine, trained a lot of dogs back in the day. He's watching Turbo right now. And he's like, hey, you're leaving. We got to meet up before you leave. So we had some business. We came down here this morning, and I'm running a couple errands here and meeting up with my good friend Eric here. Haven't seen him in a little while, but he goes, bro, we gotta meet up before you go back. He is coming out to Alabama, though. He said he's gonna come out to Bama
for a couple weeks.
Yeah. So absolutely beautiful. One thing I will say, a soft spot in my heart, Laguna Beach. I spent a lot of time here in Laguna, lived right over the hill here in Mission Viejo. Had a lot of great memories here. Had a great dog back in the day when I lived down here. I was playing volleyball and basketball. Had a really, really good dog, pit bull, and he was phenomenal. And he worked out a lot here on this beach and in these waters. But you can't take anything away from Laguna. It is one of the most beautiful places on earth. It is one of the most beautiful beaches in California. I've got nothing but positive memories here. But it has gotten busy, and it is super, super expensive. But if you are in California, one place I promise you will love is Laguna Beach. It is absolutely beautiful, stunning, but I'll tell you, it's crowded and it is super, super expensive. I think the median price of a home here is $3.8 million, somewhere around there. It's ridiculous. If you want to spend 20, 30, $40 million, $50 million, they're here. But it is absolutely a beautiful, beautiful place. But I'm moving to Alabama, getting out of here, getting out of the rat race, as you know. It's just too crowded, too expensive, and the state is just going to hell. And by the way, they now, Eric, are asking people to clean up their trash here in Laguna because so many outsiders come here and now have just desecrated the beaches, and they're asking people, please clean up their trash if they come visit the beach. It's ridiculous that now they have to enforce all these laws because people are just destroying the beach here.
Yeah, the trash has really become bad in the last 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
It has changed so dramatically in the last 7 years that it's not even recognizable.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And this place has always had an issue with polluted water. The beach was closed down so many times when I lived out here, especially South Laguna. They closed it down so many times because of pollution, but you can't take it away, right, Eric? It is a beautiful place.
This
it is gorgeous.
One of the most beautiful places in South Orange County, absolutely.
Yeah.
South
California.
Orange County and California altogether, yes.
It is absolutely. I mean, what a day. You can see Catalina out there today. It is really, really clear. Water looks nice. Just absolutely beautiful. But imagine what this looks like in the summer when school's out. You have, the college kids, the high school kids. People have their summer vacations. You cannot even move out here. It just takes all the fun away. But today, a nice beautiful Thursday, October, absolutely stunning.
Absolutely.
So we're going to get caught up here a little bit, talk about a few things. So stay tuned. But just wanted to share this with you. One of my last days in California, and Eric's like, man, we got to meet up.
Absolutely.
Please stop. He was going to come out to Palm Desert. I said, don't come to Palm Desert. I'm going to be out here. We're taking care of some stuff down here. So while I'm down here, I'll meet up with you. So that's what we're going to do, have a little lunch, catch up. Took this guy with us today for the drive too. He's like, what's going on?
It's like, what's going on?
Why do you have my leash? But he's doing good. He's doing good.
Yeah, he's happy. He's a happy dog.
Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a good boy.
happy dog.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
He's a happy dog.
So, anyways, we're going to move on here. Stay tuned to the rest of the video. Here at Crystal Cove, PCH. Beautiful, beautiful area. See Catalina out there today. Not sure if the camera's picking it up, but there's Catalina Island. So having a coffee here with Eric, winding down the afternoon, and we were talking earlier just about, the economy. Eric's, I've known Eric for 30 years. He's had a lot of life experience, and he's concerned. But when you're down here in Corona del Mar, Laguna Beach, life just seems like a beach. It just seems easy, right?
Just different.
And if you're down here long enough, I think you lose most sense of reality of what's really going on across the country, because this is where the ultra rich live. Eric and I were talking earlier at lunch today about where the economy is right now. What are the big threats to America? Where do we see all this going? And with the war, with the divide, all the things that are going on, inflation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Eric's big concern is the economy. He believes that it's going to be the economy that changes everything, that really puts the nail in the coffin, so to speak. What are your concerns about the economy? I need you to speak up.
Right.
Well, come a little closer and speak up.
What I'm seeing with the economy in areas like Laguna, down here, Newport, it's a different world.
Different world.
So they have a different perspective on everything. You go into the valley, into regular neighborhoods, you can see it. You can see the difference as far as what's happening with all the free money being spent on everything, social money being spent on everything, whether it's some things are very important, food, medical, that stuff is important. However, there's a lot of people that take advantage of the system, and it's breaking the system.
Yeah.
And now that the system is getting to the point where it's so over bloated that everything is starting to crash.
Hospitals are closing.
Absolutely. Things are closing all over.
Yeah.
Hospital, a big hospital in Orange County closed already. And that's a very nice neighborhood. But I see so many things happening that with the flood of new people in the country, which most of them are very good people, no question about it. But you had a lot of people come to the country looking for free stuff, which really hurts.
Put a drag on
everything.
the system.
Just puts a drag, and it's hard to take that kind of blow so fast.
So maybe areas like Laguna Beach, Newport, Corona del Mar may not feel it as badly as other areas of Orange County, San Bernardino, San Diego, Riverside County, all of that. They're feeling it a lot more. And let me be very, very clear. We're in Orange County, California. This area is the top 1% right here. Yes. Corona del Mar, Laguna, Newport. Top 1%. You head in, to the other end of Orange County, to the northern end, it's not like this. And there's some nice areas, don't get me wrong. There's nice areas. You have Anaheim Hills, Villa Park, places like that. It doesn't hold a candle to where we're at right now. This is multi-million dollar homes everywhere. And, it's easy, you can walk through these neighborhoods on a daily basis and live in your bubble and not ever think that there was a problem, right?
That's correct.
It's when you begin to get out of the bubble into other areas of California where the problems really persist. And you could go into Beverly Hills, nice area, but you're seeing problems even in Beverly Hills. Santa Monica's now has massive problems with the tents, the street people, the homeless, and the businesses are shutting down hand over fist. Now, could that happen here? Yeah, it probably could, but it's hard to even imagine it could happen here, but it's already happened in areas like this in LA. Hopefully it never happens here, but I think the government here in Orange County is a little bit different than the government running Los Angeles. So
the local government.
Yeah, the local government here much different. They just don't tolerate it. So that's what's keeping it out. But where are the problems that you see now with the economy, Eric?
The economy is really struggling because of them spending so much social money in so many areas, and now that China has been buying all our debt. They own such a huge percentage of our debt. They're buying our farmland, they're buying properties next to our military facilities, they're building an infrastructure into the country. And you look at all the major countries in the world that collapsed, such as the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire. They all didn't crash militarily, but they did economically. And you know, China's buying our debt, and it's a possibility, and I don't foresee it that near, but in the future, it's possible that our economy collapses, and then it's possible that China can come in.
Now, I will say this. China's buying a lot less of our debt. They're buying a lot more gold now.
Yes,
and the problem is what happens when China stops buying our debt. When the world stops buying our debt. Who buys it? The Federal Reserve. This is going to be the cause of more inflation. And why we're seeing more inflation is because countries are buying less amounts of our debt. They're buying gold. But how bad could it get socially when the economy, not if, but when, we know the economy is going to collapse. It's collapsing right now. Maybe not here in Corona del Mar. But overall, nationally, it is collapsing. How bad do things get socially when things collapse economically?
You get very devastated. What you start seeing, just like within history in any other country, the food supply starts getting cut off. You start seeing social unrest. You start seeing, first you have mobs going to everywhere where they can get food or water, because we don't have our natural source here anymore. It's being all cut off. And so we
Stores
don't
run out within 24 hours.
Yes, we don't get water from up north. We don't grow our own food anymore. So we're reliant on the government now. And it's possible and likely that once that happens, we start having more and more unrest, more and more riots, mobs, going wherever the food supply is. And then you start seeing cities collapse. That's what you start seeing.
Yeah, which we're already seeing now, right?
Yes,
I mean, we're seeing. I mean, we were just in San Bernardino a few weeks ago. You talk about a city collapsing. San Bernardino is a total example of a city collapsing, and it can happen. If it can happen there, which was a nice city at one point, it happened there many years ago. It collapsed. It's never recovered, and we're going to see more cities collapse in the U.S. without doubt.
Absolutely, and. I see it already happening. You go down to places like Long Beach, California. It's incredible what that city was 10 years ago and what it is now. It's actually a cesspool now. You have so many homeless there. There's more homeless than companies or job, buildings open, businesses open. They're all closing. Not all, but a big percentage. You see more and more people on the street, and you're seeing a lot more violence on the street. You see them because they're on drugs, they're doing their thing. They have mental issues because of drugs, and then they start creating violence, doing a lot of bad things. That's just an example of a great city that has collapsed within the last 10 years, and it's from above down. The government and the local government allowing them not to follow law. You
can rob up to $950 and nothing.
$1,000, and not only $1,000, but you're out the next day.
Right.
And so there's no repercussion. You're not being in any way. So there's no reason for them not to stop. And that's what's happening. Absolutely.
You've grown up in California your whole life.
Been here my whole life.
And where would you say right now the condition of California is right now?
Well, the condition of California when I was growing up was, if not the best state in the union, it was one of the best by far, most beautiful state. And now I see as a state, it's one of the absolute worst states in the United States right now. I see it collapsing within. We have a government with our governor down, where they're creating all kinds of new laws that is cutting out single family residents. They're cutting out businesses. You can't even get a business permit. It takes you, like, if I want to get a business permit, if I'm not a major corporation, I have to buy the building. Then I have to do all this processing to get a permit to open. It might take me 5 years. So I have to have a building and pay for the building, keep it open for 5 years before I can get a permit. These are the kind of regulations that are happening in California. We had the fires. They're not even allowed.
Talk about that, Eric. You live in LA County. What
there.
is going on with the fires? I don't think people quite understand the disaster that is now taking place after the fires. These people cannot rebuild.
They cannot rebuild. They're not allowed. We could drive there right now. You won't see one place rebuilt. Some of them still have all the debris still there. They're not even allowing them to take debris off their own property. It's incredible, the regulations that are happening. And it's happening, I believe, because the government wants to buy all the property from everybody to build low-income housing. More people to come into the state.
So what's going to happen to the people right now who cannot rebuild? They're just going to have to sell?
Yes.
And I was talking to your wife, and she agreed with me that they're just going to wear these people out for a couple of years,
yes,
and then buy it cheap.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, there's three things. Number one is they're not letting them get insurance, so the insurance is collapsing here. No. So they're forcing you to get state insurance, and it doesn't cover anything or rebuild cost. So they're not going to even be able to afford to rebuild. So they're going to have no choice but to sell back to the state, not to, or a corporation.
At a discounted price.
Or a corporation.
So how would you like to be heading into the real estate market now, selling dirt in a collapsing real estate market? Because that's what's happening right now.
It's absolutely disappearing.
Yeah.
And what I see is, not only is disappearing, even people in Malibu that have money right on the coast, they're not putting up with it. They're just moving. They're moving.
Right.
They're leaving.
Right.
So they can afford to go to a nice area, a different state, whatever the case would be. But not the people. Not the.
What about the people in Malibu and Pacific Palisades who maybe bought a house 30 years ago? They can't afford to build.
They can't afford. What has happened is housing that was standard build 30 years ago. Right. They created so much regulation that you cannot afford. The insurance don't even cover a third of the cost. So they don't have the money to rebuild with the kind of regulations that's created in California.
Right.
It is not a company friendly or business friendly state.
Maybe a multi-billionaire comes in and starts buying up a bunch of this stuff.
Start buying it all up.
And the people that were somewhat wealthy, they're not wealthy enough to replace those homes because maybe they bought the home years ago for, say, $1.5 million.
Right.
It's a lot of money. But now that house is worth $12 million.
Yes.
They can't do it.
They can't do it.
And the taxes now on top of it.
The taxes are bad enough. It's among the highest in the nation. But they don't talk about all the hidden regulations that's happening. I mean, it's happening in some other, I guess you would say, liberal cities. I don't know if that's correct. But the regulations, the hidden regulations are so astronomical. For example, like I said, you can't even get a permit for 5 years. Even if you open a business, you cannot have it to the people or till you get your permits. You cannot get your permits for approximately 5 years. I have a friend firsthand that's trying to open an auto body shop. He used to own one for 20 years. He sold it. Now he's wanted to open a new one. He cannot. He bought a building. He cannot get the permits to open. It's already been 2 years.
Wow.
That's what's happening.
What does California look like in 10 years?
Collapsed. Completely collapsed. Yeah.
I mean, we got a dog right here. I mean, is this going to be a Mad Max type of environment here, or what do we got?
I don't think it's going to be Mad Max, so to speak, but I believe it's going to be close.
You been to LA lately?
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close overall.
Yeah.
But there's going to be certain areas it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
I mean, you look at Chicago, you look at LA, you look at San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco is one of the most beautiful, incredible cities in the world.
What a tragedy.
And now it is.
Look at this guy.
Cesspool.
So his Tesla, you could see somebody spray painted something and it was on it, and it was buffed out, left some damage there.
Yes.
So, what's some advice you would give people right now if they have the means, maybe some capital to to do something, what would they be doing right now? What should they be doing?
I believe that people that can afford to move and willing to let go of what they have here, I recommend them moving to a more friendly state that doesn't have the kind of taxes and regulations that they can live a better, freer life.
Yeah.
If they can't afford that, I think they should save certain things like food supply, water supply, things like having generator, just setting yourself up in a position that when it does happen, at least they would be able to have options to survive until they can get out, or whatever the case may be. Maybe even start looking into online about doing your own harvesting, like start building, start doing things like vegetable gardens. Start being able to self-reliant to yourself and to your family. Because I can live without vegetables. I'm an older man, but my children can't, or my grandchildren can't. They need that. They need the and also water. I keep 2 50-gallon drums full of water at all times. And I live in a really pretty nice area, Lakewood, Los Alamitos area. It's very nice. However, we have been having the last 3 years, almost 4 years now, we've been having power outages all the time. And not just for like 30 minutes or 3 hours, but I'm talking like 2 days. 2 days power outage. So I have a generator, a home generator that covers everything. I'm fine. Air conditioner, everything runs. But most people don't have that. Most people do not have that. The average person doesn't have that. I suggest you start investing in those type of things. That's what I suggest.
Another thing, Eric, you had a martial arts studio for many years.
Yes.
Food, water, cash, metals. But watch this little. I got a little right here. I got a little beauty right there. Oh, okay, he's beautiful. Hey, buddy. We love our dogs. We talk about self-defense all the time.
Yes.
Obviously, specific tools and whatnot, but you may not always have a specific tool on you. The job may not require having a 90210 on you. How important is having mixed martial arts skills, having defensive skills in today's day and age? I think it's more important than ever.
It's incredibly important. I've been doing martial arts now for almost 45 years. And when I first started, it was all about in a different era of Bruce Lee, and the young people wanted to be like Bruce Lee, so they started learning. That's why I started learning, because of Bruce Lee. Then it changed from Bruce Lee to more self-defense for like women, a lot of women self-defense and things like that, and I do seminars at the colleges. We've gone from that to now most of our students are coming here for survival skills, because so many people are seeing that, and it is so important that you can be able to take care of yourself. And I believe that martial arts, even a little bit, not so much like taking classes from a white belt to black belt type thing, but actual specific designed program that will teach you how to defend yourself and do the things that can get you out of trouble. Maybe they're bigger, they're tougher, but hey, you can do things. So
you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Give us your background.
I'm an 8th degree black belt in Kung Fu Sansu. I'm a 6th degree black belt in Hap Kuen Do. I also have a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and I also was a high school wrestling champ at state, and also went to college NCAA champion, not champion, but NCAA wrestler. And so I've been, in this field my entire life.
So it's important.
It's very important. For me, it was more sport at the time, but now I see more and more how important it is. And there is things you can learn that get you out of trouble.
Yes.
Even we teach girls that are 14, 15 years old that will be able to get themselves out of trouble enough to get away. It's not to take them down, to hurt them, but to stop them, to make them not able to keep coming at you so you can get away. You have a chance to get away. And that's really important. And that's what self-defense does. It gives you a lot of things, confidence, but it also teaches you skills that you will remember your whole life.
Yeah.
And that's really, really important.
And discipline.
Discipline.
And now, with what's happening, you need structure, you're going to need discipline, you're going to need skills. Because we all resort back to our skills, we resort back to our training. And as you know, Eric, if you don't have the skills, the training, you're resorting back to nothing. You're guaranteed to lose. I'm going to let you close it out. If anything you want to say.
Well, as far as the martial arts and training, I believe that everybody can have a weapon on them. You could have a keychain with a pogo stick, which is like just a little block of metal. You could have it in your hand, so you would be able to stop an attacker. Number one, possibly. Number two, I believe that everybody needs to start preparing themselves, just in the case of what's happening in California, and start spreading even into the more friendly states.
How you had some really great dogs. I mean, your dog Jonah. Eric and I go back 30 years working dogs. We trained at Adler Horse International. We used to go to all the dog clubs, Los Angeles. We went to tournaments. We'd go to the Schutzen clubs. We did it all. Personal protection, Schutzen, KMBV, hours. We probably got thousands of hours. I was on the news many years ago after a dog attack happened in San Francisco, and you came with.
Yes, we were on the news.
My dog Diesel. The reporter took a bite. It was UPN or Fox News, yes. Los Angeles, and Eric was actually there and helped the camera crew and the reporter.
Yes, Jonah was there too.
Yeah, Jonah was there too, and that was a really great experience.
I made the cameraman take a bite
out
of Jonah.
Yeah. The cameraman took a bite and the reporter took a bite, and it was a great time. But
yes.
Back then I did it for fun. I just loved training with the dogs, decoying, all that. I love the sport of it. Now, just like you said with martial arts,
necessity.
It's not a sport. Now it's a necessity.
Yes.
And so when I look at this little puppy right here,
there he is.
I want to close with this. How important is now maybe owning a good dog if you can find it, if you can afford a trained dog, because they're going to cost you a lot of money, or a well-bred puppy that you can train. That's going to take probably a couple years. How important is an animal like this now to have? Because I think it's never been more important.
It's extremely important. For example, I have a dog that I trained just for my yard, just for my house, to protect my family and my property. And nobody comes to my property. They're just going to go to the next house without question.
Yeah.
And I live in a very, very nice neighborhood. I would say upper middle class. I'm not rich by no means, but I live in a decent neighborhood. I sacrifice for my family. And we've had break-ins in our neighborhood just in the last 3 years, since all this turmoil that's been happening, that it's progressed in the last 4 years. Well, if they had a good protection dog in their property, they would not have gotten robbed. They would have just went to the next easier house.
Yep.
That's the point. Plus, if they did get into the house, they could protect you with their life to death. They will protect you to their death.
And somebody would say, well, they'll just use a weapon, and but that's fine.
Sometimes you can't.
But the dog bought you time so that you could get to your weapon.
That's right.
So the
He's
dog
instant.
bought you time. Right.
He's
Right. He can hear better than you. He can see better than you. The dog bought you time. So very, very important. And he may just stop the attack to begin with, but at the end of the day, the dog will buy. Hey, Fooey, the dog will buy time. Very protective. Very protective.
4 months old, and he's already working.
Won't let anybody near Uncle Eric.
Already working.
But so important. They are family members, but they have a job to do too. Don't buy a dog and just think, well, it's just my friend, and he's gonna protect me. You need to buy a quality dog with the genetics, with the breeding, and the training, because most dogs are not going to protect you. Most people think, oh, my dog's big, or it'll protect me. It doesn't work that way.
Big don't mean anything.
Big don't mean nothing. The dog must be trained, and it must have the right driving genetics. Go ahead, Eric. I'm going to let you finish up with this because I think it's really important.
Yes. Yes. As far as the dogs, some of the best athletic, hardest biting, more aggressive protection dogs that we've ever worked with were a lot of times smaller dogs.
Yeah.
And so, German Shepherds and some of these other dogs, Rottweilers, sure, they can, but there's a lot of Rottweilers and those that don't have good genetics that won't do anything.
Typically American bred.
Yes.
You need to have the proper bred
That's right.
dog. It has to have the genetics, has to have the drive. Are the parents working dogs?
That's right.
Most people in America breed for looks. And so people go, I have a 150-pound Rottweiler. Well, its parents have, for probably 5 generations, have done absolutely nothing. And it's just a big, fat, overweight dog that will do nothing. Go ahead, Eric.
Yes, I can tell you for experience, most of my dogs come from either Czech or Germany over there. However, the last really good dog that I had 10 years ago, 5 years ago that I got, he was American bred. I looked around. There is plenty of people that get working dogs that breed them and sell their puppies at a halfway decent price. You can look at their breeding. You can also watch them, how they are. You watch the parents, how they are, how they work, or what they do, how their reaction is, and all these type of things. And you can get a puppy, even a German Shepherd puppy or a Malinois for, $600 to $1,200, because there's a lot of people that are breeding their dogs, their working dogs, just to breed them, not necessarily to make money.
But it's an untrained dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can pick up a quality dog at a pretty reasonable price. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars.
No, but you're going to have to train it. That's going to be thousands of dollars.
You have to train it, and the training is going to be expensive unless you know somebody who can give you a discount. But it's so important, because I'm telling you, I have no break-ins, but I've had neighbors that have break-ins, and in a good neighborhood. What's happening into the bad neighborhoods? It's even worse. And I hear these home invasions all the time. And if you have children, it's even more important, because if you have a home invasion, who are they going to first go after? They're going to go after dad, and they're going to go after the children. And so it's really, really important to be able to protect your family and your home. If you can't afford to move, you can't afford these things. There are simple things you can't afford, but it's really,
but at least a dog is
no matter first defense.
Right, it's a deterrent.
First defense.
And like you said, they'll go to the next house, even if it's not trained. But if you have a trained dog, you have a real asset. And I will tell you this, there's people in this area right here of Orange County that got highly trained KBV dogs here that they spent $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 plus dollars for dogs here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing what these dogs are selling for. I've seen one guy who's on YouTube quite a bit. He's got a dog for sale right now, German Shepherd, $150,000, and it's probably already sold. But this is where they're coming to. This is the area that they're selling on their videos that they're coming to. It's South Orange County. It's Beverly Hills. It's parts of Miami, in areas of Florida. It's where the money is. But people in this area, they don't think twice about spending $100,000 for a protection dog.
It's like $5.
It's like $5, but they have it.
Right.
So what I'm saying is they believe in enough in this area. They take their security that serious. They'll spend $100,000 for a dog, and the average person out there who doesn't live in $1 million neighborhood doesn't do anything. They just go, well, I'll lock my doors, hope for the best. These people, they're rich for a reason, because they're smart. They think, they understand what's going on in the world.
They think outside the
They're
box.
thinking outside of the box. Even though we feel like we're in a bubble here, the people with the deep pockets, they got private security, they got KBV dogs, they're running CCWs, they're armed, and many of them are more prepared than I think most people think. But again, this is why they're rich. Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see down here more and more when I come down here, I see so many more women carrying pepper guns.
Yeah.
The legalized pepper guns now.
Yeah.
I see them carrying it. I don't see people in the valley carrying them, even though you can get them. They're not that expensive.
Yeah.
And people aren't taking their security
Seriously.
Hey, and don't believe that it's really that bad.
Yeah.
But no matter what, you should be protecting your family. That's just the way I see
absolutely.
it. So martial arts, a dog, things like that, and basic things like pepper gun, pepper spray, these type of things, and then have generator, water supply, some food supply, at least a year. and it's not that hard to get.
Yeah.
You can look around online.
Because you got to think, what's happening now is we're seeing the gangs and the criminals coming to these type of areas now. We've had 2 shootings at Fashion Island, literally 3 minutes from where we're at right now.
Area.
They're coming to high-end areas because they know this is where the watches are, this is where the money is, this is where the diamonds are, this is where they're going to capitalize. So
Sure.
this is they figured it out not to stay in the bad areas, but come to the wealthy areas. It's more prosperous for them, more lucrative for them. And so these people are waking up that, hey man, there's a threat out there.
Sure.
And so we have money. We're going to get private security. We're going to get training. We're going to get the dogs. We got security systems, gated communities, everything. And that's what they're doing. So anyways, I'm glad we talked about that. I know it's a long video, but I think it's important stuff. Anything else, Eric? I want to wrap it up.
I think that just to recap on the things that we're talking about, so many people think it's not that important, or I'll do it later,
Yeah.
or they say I believe I need to do it, but
God will
I
save
just don't
me.
have time to get
God will
to
save.
it.
I'm leaving it in God's hands.
That leaving God's hands, or I just don't have time.
Yeah.
You need to make the time.
Yep.
You need to make the time and the prioritize it, because of the fact that if you don't and it does happen, then you're not ready.
Yep.
And you need to be prepared. That's all I have to say. Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. Be ready. I think those are really good. That's really good advice. Good words right there. So we're gonna wrap it up. Finish up our coffee. I got to head back to the desert. And it was great catching up with Eric today. I haven't seen you for a little while, but man, we had some great times. Thanks for meeting up today. It means a lot. You're a great guy, great friend. And I'm sure you're coming out to Alabama at some point.
Coming out.
So we'll wrap it up there. Please leave a comment down below. Like this video, share it. God bless.